In this moment, you're untouchable. The crowd is deafening. The belt is yours. The lights are blinding. But deep down, something feels wrong, because the higher they lift you, the more it hurts when they let go. This is the moment every kid dreams of. Main event of WrestleMania. Fireworks behind you. Your name echoing through arenas. You're not just a wrestler anymore. You're the guy, the face of WWE. But what they don't tell you is this. That spotlight doesn't just light your path. It burns through you, piece by piece, day by day. There's a reason so many men who reach this level either break down or disappear. Because being the face of WWE isn't a dream. It's a role so demanding, so isolating, so relentlessly inhuman, that by the time the crowd finishes cheering, there's almost nothing left of you. They see the icon, but they never see the cost. This is what it feels like to wear that crown, to smile through broken ribs, to carry a billion-dollar company on your spine, to never stop performing, even when your soul begs for silence. Welcome to the role that destroys the men who earn it. Welcome to the death sentence that comes with being the face of WWE. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't just wake up one day and become the face of WWE. You're chosen, molded, manufactured. From the outside, it looks like a reward, a promotion to wrestling royalty. But behind the curtain, it's more like a corporate coronation and a quiet contract you didn't know you signed. Once they pick you, you stop being a wrestler. You become a product, a brand, a symbol. And the symbol has no off switch. Ask John Cena. For over a decade, he was WWE. Every media interview, every charity event, every hostile crowd, he did it all because the machine needed him to. He wasn't allowed to get tired or angry or vulnerable. He was Superman, 7 days a week. Ask Roman Reigns. For years, they forced the crown on his head before he was ready, before the fans accepted it, because Vince McMahon had decided, that's our guy. The boos didn't matter. The backlash didn't matter. He was the plan, and once the machine chooses you, your life stops belonging to you. There's no room for failure, no room for doubt. You reign not just holding the belt, you reign holding the entire empire on your shoulders. And while the world sees fame and fortune, what they don't see is the weight, the media days that never end, the flights you don't remember boarding, the funerals you miss, the birthdays you FaceTime from hotel rooms. Because the face of WWE is expected to be everything. Champion, hero, actor, diplomat, machine, all the time. Even when your body's screaming, even when your mind's slipping, especially then. When you play a character for long enough, you forget where they end and you begin. Roman Reigns isn't real. Neither was John Cena, or Hulk Hogan, or the tribal chief, the Marine, the immortal. They're constructs, born in boardrooms, sharpened in locker rooms, sold to millions. But someone has to live them, and that's where the fracture begins. You start wearing the same smile in interviews and at funerals. You speak in promos because you've forgotten how to speak like yourself. Every handshake, every fan photo, every public moment becomes a performance. There's no space to fall apart. There's no space to say, I'm not okay, because the face of WWE doesn't crack. He endures. But what happens when the mask doesn't come off? You wake up in a hotel room and forget what city you're in. You lose track of your own voice. The crowd still chants your name, but you don't even recognize the man they're chanting for. CM Punk once said, I was a spoke on the wheel. The wheel's gonna keep turning. I just don't want to be a part of it anymore. That wasn't rebellion. That was identity collapse. Because when the show never stops, you stop being human. And when your entire worth is built around applause, silence becomes terrifying. Who are you when the crowd goes quiet? When the lights shut off? When you're alone in the locker room, peeling off a costume that's more you than your real skin? That's the part no one sees. They see the belts, the pyro, the legacy. They don't see the identity that died to create it. Pain is part of the job. But the face of WWE doesn't just wrestle through pain. He lives in it. There's a moment after the match ends. When the camera's cut, the crowd files out, and the adrenaline wears off. That's when the pain hits. Not just the bruises, but the reality. The face of WWE doesn't go home. He goes to rehab, then to a flight, then to another city, another show, another fake smile. Roman Reigns came back from leukemia and stepped right back into the fire, not because he had to, because the company needed its king. John Cena wrestled with torn muscles, cracked bones, concussions, and still stood at press conferences like a soldier in uniform, because no matter what happens behind the scenes, the face must never look weak. The character is immortal, but the man behind it bleeds. Relationships fall apart, weddings missed, children born while you're cutting promos in another country. You lose people, sometimes permanently, while pretending to be invincible, and when the pressure finally explodes, you don't get therapy, you get booed, or worse, you get forgotten. CM Punk didn't walk away because he hated wrestling. He walked away because his body was breaking and no one listened. Sasha Banks stepped away from WWE with no warning. Why? Because pretending to be unbreakable almost broke her for good. This isn't just about fame, it's about sacrifice. Sacrifice the world cheers for, and then ignores the second the lights go down. You give everything, and then they ask for more. And if you ever say no, you're not the face anymore, just a shadow in the rearview mirror of the next chosen one. At first, they love you like a god. They chant your name, buy your shirts, tell their kids to be like you. You carry a generation on your shoulders, and then one day, they turn. The boos start quietly, then louder, then unrelenting. Ask Roman Reigns. For years, he was shoved to the top, not by will, but by design. And the fans, they rebelled. Not because he failed them, but because he represented the machine they didn't trust. He got booed for surviving cancer. He got booed for showing up. You train your whole life to be their hero, and somehow, you still become the villain. John Cena, same story. They called him Super Cena, said he buried talent. To clean, to corporate, to safe. They hated him for being everything WWE wanted, even when that came at the cost of himself. Because the truth is brutal. The longer you stay on top, the more they want to see you fall. And when you finally do step aside, it's not silence that greets you. It's indifference. No parade, no apology, just the next guy in line. In WWE, you die a hero or live long enough to get booed out of the building. And the machine, it never stops. It just updates the posters, switches the intro music, moves the spotlight to a younger, shinier face until they too start to crack. You were once the whole show. Now, you're a nostalgia chant, a clip on YouTube, a name in a Hall of Fame speech no one listens to all the way through. There's no final match, no grand farewell, just a slow fade into silence. One day, you wake up and no one's calling. No flights to catch, no interviews, no WrestleMania poster with your face on it. You check your phone. The notifications are quiet. The world has moved on, and no one asked if you were ready. That's how it ends. Not with a match, not with fireworks, but with absence. Because WWE doesn't do goodbyes. Not really. The same system that built you into a myth forgets you like a storyline that didn't pop the ratings. Ask Batista, who left to pursue peace in Hollywood. Ask CM Punk, who vanished and the machine scrubbed his name clean. Ask Shawn Michaels, who had to literally lose his smile just to take a break. You give them your youth, your body, your identity, and when you're finally empty, they just write a new script. There's no therapy for being the face of WWE, no rehab for the soul. Just years of pretending everything was fine, until pretending becomes impossible. So you slip away, quietly, without the belt, without the spotlight. Just a broken man trying to remember who he was before the crowd decided who he had to be. Because the face of WWE doesn't get a happily ever after. He gets a clean exit, a curtain pulled, a chapter closed, and maybe, just maybe, a few years later, he walks out on a surprise return and smiles like he never left. But the eyes always tell the truth. The face of WWE wears a crown made of gold, in silence, because behind every roar of the crowd is a man who gave everything and got nothing back.